Coming up on KTVH News at 5. A Montana Senate committee hears bills that would cut Montana's income taxes. Chief political reporter Mike Dennison has the details. Plus, the Pardue processing plant in Cut Bank has new owners and are hiring. How you can get involved.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Andy Curtis, and thanks for joining us. Republican Governor Greg Gianforte is proposing a series of bills to cut taxes and otherwise overhaul Montana's tax system. The centerpieces of his plan, focusing on the state income tax, had their first hearings on Thursday before a legislative committee. MTN's Mike Dennison tells us what the proposals will do and what the supporters and opponents had to say at the hearings.
The three income tax bills before the Senate Taxation Committee all have one goal in common, as told by Gianforte's budget director, Kurt Alme.
Governor Gianforte is sending a message to entrepreneurs and business leaders in Montana and across the country. We want you and your good-paying jobs.
The first bill would cut Montana's top personal income tax rate from 6.9% to 6.75%. Another would set up a special reserve fund to finance incremental reduction of that top rate eventually down to 5%. And finally, a third bill says if a new company sets up shop in Montana and creates good jobs here over 5 years, any profits from sale of the company's stock by employees would be entirely exempt from income taxes. Here's the sponsor of that last bill.
Not only are we going to attract new talent, but I think we're going to attract a lot of our talent that's left this state and wants to come back.
Opponents of the bills, however, said they all have a fundamental flaw. Numerous studies have shown that cutting income taxes for the wealthy to encourage job development has never really worked.
These economists from one of the most prestigious economic schools in the world looked back over a span of 50 years of tax cuts for the rich to see if the, quote, common sense idea of tax cuts for the rich turbocharged the economy. All they found was that the rich get richer and the broader economy not improved.
They also said the bills will chop revenue from the state budget with no regard for whether the state may need that revenue to pay for vital services like education, infrastructure, or services for the vulnerable. Senator Greg Hertz of Polson, the sponsor of the first two bills, said he believes otherwise.
But what's the best thing we can do for those individuals in need? Provide them a better opportunity and a better paying job. And that's the basics behind this bill and other bills, what we're trying to do.
Hertz also plans to bring a bill to simplify state income taxes by getting rid of some tax credits. And on Friday, he'll present a bill that actually raises taxes on multi-state corporations to help pay for some of the cuts in other bills. With Republicans firmly in control of the legislature, it's a pretty good bet that Governor Gianforte's tax cut plans will be sailing through. The real question may be, what happens to other tax cuts being advanced by Republican lawmakers, of which there are many? In Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Now all of these bills are still in committee and awaiting their initial votes. And he's back and hopefully brought some good news with him, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
The good news lagging just a little bit behind here, everybody. Good afternoon to you all. I've missed you all too. Taking a look, of course, you know it's cold, but look at this. Near West Glacier, earlier this morning, a wind chill value of 70 degrees below zero. We did this 2 winters ago up near Poplar in the northeast part of the state, but the combination of cold and wind, 70 degrees below zero. That is absolutely incredible. Look at some of the current wind chill values: 43 below in Lewistown, 37 below right now in Havre, 34 below in Cut Bank, almost 40 below with the wind in Great Falls and Helena. 23 degrees below zero. Wind chill warning continues for northern Montana, here with wind chill values between about 50 to 60 below zero. Wind chill advisory for wind chill values down to about 40 below in the southern part of the state. Note the wind chill, the winter weather advisory in parts of Idaho and even northwestern Wyoming. Well, we're going to have some snow moving towards the state, but it should move right underneath us. So right now we're in the core of the cold for at least a couple of more days. Oh, snow close. A lot of folks have 1, 2, even 3 feet of snow on the ground. This one not producing significant snow. And Monday, President's Day, a little moderation. I'll have more of the full forecast coming up.
In less than a week, COVID restrictions in Cascade County could be lifted. The case rate in the county has now been below 25 cases of COVID-19 per 100,000 people for 3 weeks. Now, if that rate holds until next Wednesday, the COVID restrictions will be lifted. If the rate does not hold, the 4-week waiting period starts over. The restrictions do not include a mask mandate, but county health officials may meet next week and decide to require masks. County Health Director Tricia Gardner says masks will be more important than ever if the current COVID restrictions are lifted, and because the state's mandate is expected to expire tomorrow.
If you're having more freedom of movement to everything else, the masks become even more important. They do help reduce the transmission.
If a mask mandate is implemented, there will be a threshold set for lifting it, but what that threshold will be has not been discussed. And active cases in the state do continue to fall and have stayed below 3,000 for a second day. Just over 300 additional COVID-19 cases were reported in the state today. 111 people are also currently hospitalized with the virus across Montana. But 2 additional deaths have been reported today, one in Lake County and one in Gallatin County, bringing the statewide death total to 1,338. Just a reminder, MTN does use a combination of state and local data to report COVID-19 cases and deaths across our state. International grain producer Argo Crop and Missouri-based grain company Link One came together to buy the Pardue processing plant in Cut Bank. MTN's Cassandra Soto tells us how they plan to grow their local connection.
Pulses, peas, and lentils.
It's all part of what the merged company called AgroLink hopes to buy from farms in Cut Bank. But to process the grains, they need manpower.
We love creating jobs, no matter here or anywhere else. But in Cut Bank, there's going to be about 13 to 15 jobs.
One of those jobs already belongs to George Anich, who worked at the Pardue plant before it went to auction in March.
The COVID hit, and we were kind of hit and miss on work, so we was just touch and go on, work and making a living. It was pretty tough. And now I'm starting to feel good about it, starting to feel security. From what I've seen so far, I really like it, because we'll be taking in crops locally and employing local people. That's a lot for our community in these tough times.
AgroLink has only been working out here for about 45 days. They say their first milestone is to buy, process, and sell the equivalent of 10 rail cars.
We need to buy the crops before the farmer even puts it in the ground. So we're working with the farmer. The farmers want to work with us, they want to work local. As soon as they found out, farmers started showing up on our front doorstep.
AgroLink is looking to process quickly, but their main goal is to create lasting partnerships with local farmers.
We're already talking about this next crop that they planted, but they may not have had a contract with. So long term, we're going to continue to work with the farmers and buy their lentils and their peas, their chickpeas, so that we'll go into a year cycle, a 6-month cycle, and continue to do that. I mean, longevity, we've been very successful at doing this type of business, and so we believe that we can do this for a very long time.
In Cut Bank, Cassandra Soto, MTN News.
AgroLink is looking to hire 1 employee each month. You can find their open positions on Indeed.com. Montana Congressman Matt Rosendale has a new committee assignment, one that he says will help military veterans and is honestly a bit of a surprise. Rosendale will be the top Republican on the subcommittee for technology modernization on the House Veterans Affairs Committee. The subcommittee is one of 5 on the Veterans Affairs Committee, and Rosendale says it's unusual for a freshman legislator to get such a position. He says he assumes it's because of his experience on healthcare-related issues as state insurance commissioner. Rosendale, who was elected as Montana's only congressman in November, says the subcommittee will be working on improving electronic health records for veterans, which have been a problem.
They have been just in a quagmire for years now. They spent billions of dollars, quite frankly, trying to have good, accurate records and a transition from active military to being a veteran. I think that most of the veterans will tell you that when they come out and they begin to start the process on trying to access their veterans benefits, that the electronic health records is one of the larger problems that they've been bumping into.
Rosendale has also been assigned a spot on the House Natural Resources Committee. And when we come back, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz will have a complete check of your forecast. And later, we'll tell you about a new activity in Helena that can help keep your kids engaged during the pandemic.
With Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Good Thursday afternoon to you all. No, I don't have a cold. I don't have COVID, thankfully. Just a little nose procedure to correct 7 broken noses through my life. There we go. We're through all the small talk. So 10 below right now in Helena. Clouds moving back in. Great Falls looking at a current temperature of 20 degrees below zero. It's 31 below in Great Falls this morning. That's without the wind. There you can see the current readings, 23 below in Lewistown, 20 below in Cut Bank, a little warmer, above zero in Kalispell, Missoula. But dangerously cold wind chill values will continue through tonight, through tomorrow, into the weekend here. I mean, look at some of these numbers still. As cold as 30, 40 below all the way into Saturday night into Sunday. Now, Sunday night into Monday, that's when the numbers will start to come up here just a little bit and will likely modify the temperatures as we get into Monday. Besides a couple of flurries out there, not much going on. And oh boy, there's a lot of snow in Washington and Oregon and Idaho. Well, this storm will duck just underneath a lot of our area here. Southwest Montana likely getting some snow, some ice down in Texas. What an absolute tragic accident because of the ice in the Fort Worth area. 5 people died in a pileup that had more than 100 cars here. So this brutal stretch of winter weather, not just hitting Montana, hitting a lot of the lower 48 and pretty far south as well here. So for tonight in Montana, a little snow increasing basically along Interstate 90 here, but as we get into the early morning hours, some of that snow will come close to Helena. We'll likely have a little light snow through tomorrow morning before that round of snow moves down off towards the south. Like we've been seeing with just a little light flurry activity here, that's what we will likely see tomorrow, maybe as much as an inch around Helena, but not much, if any, north of there. Clearing the skies out on Friday night. No clouds mean colder temperatures, so we will likely have another night, Friday night into Saturday morning, 20, 30, 35 below zero here for a lot of us. Saturday, more snow, but notice that's down towards the south here. A couple flakes might make their way up into the Helena area, but accumulation again is light through tomorrow morning, really south and southwest of Helena, closer to Elliston and Boulder and Basin, Butte America picking up some of that snow. Maybe a few more flurries here on Saturday, but notice how most of that accumulation is down in the southwestern part of the state. Tonight, another dangerously cold night. These numbers not factoring in the wind. We'll have many areas. Look at Loma and Big Sandy, 34 below or so. Dangerously cold wind chill values, northeast Montana, Lewistown, 30 to 35 below zero. And the cloud cover around Helena tonight will keep us closer to 20 below as opposed to 30 or 35 below if we had clear skies. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Hazy sunshine, highs still below zero here for most of the state. A little more sunshine the farther north and east you go here. Lewistown about 10 below for a high and a few flakes in the morning hours, followed by a little sunshine through tomorrow afternoon around Helena. Still some flakes though. On Saturday, just a few light flurries, that's it. Sunday, we start to warm things up here just a little bit. Monday, likely going up into the teens and almost above the freezing point by Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So we have this whole weekend, Valentine's Day on Sunday, President's Day on Monday, where we've got more cold weather here. And for Great Falls, 10 below for the high tomorrow. The nights, yeah, maybe not as cold, but still 20 to 25 below zero. And there is some moderation. Look at that. Next Thursday, a high above the freezing point.
Well, I think most parents and teachers would agree. Keeping kids of all ages entertained during the pandemic when so many places and things are closed has been a big challenge. But there is a new activity in Helena for kids young and old to not only keep them entertained, but also grow their minds at the same time. MTN's Jessica Nelson tells us about Snapology.
Think Legos, but on steroids. Snapology is an up-and-coming program only offered in 24 states. And now kids from Helena to Bozeman can participate in the STEAM activity online or in person.
So those that don't know what STEAM stands for, it's science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. A lot of our lessons have more than one of those components that we teach along with it.
Snapology offers lessons, camps, competitions, and even birthday parties. Stephanie says she has over 1,100 hours of curriculum she can offer to a wide range of age groups.
My most popular groups right now are ages 4 to 6 and then 7 to 11. Those are the most popular groups right now. But we do have curriculum for ages 2 all the way up to 14.
Unlike Legos, you cannot purchase Snapology products in a store. And perhaps the biggest difference between the two?
But the fun part is when they get it all built, we turn on Milo and we can connect Milo to the tablet. And then we program Milo to do what we want. Then when they're ready for Milo to move, then they just hit play.
The older the age group, the more advanced the builds become. Stephanie says one of her favorite parts of teaching lessons is catering to the specific interests of each child, and everything is COVID friendly.
Our kids do wear masks and we sanitize everything before they get there. And when they arrive, we have them wipe their hands, and when they leave. So I feel like we've done a really good job following COVID regulations and trying to keep kids learning in person.
To find out when the next Snapology class is being held or to sign up for spring camps, just visit helena.snapology.com. Reporting in Helena, Jessica Nelson, MTN News.
Thanks a lot for that, Jessica. And coming up next on the news at 5, we'll check in with the University of Providence wrestling team as the postseason gets closer.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for making some time with us tonight. Well, the University of Providence men's wrestling team is at home again this evening, and MTN's Isaiah Dunk checks in with the team as the postseason looms.
The University of Providence men's wrestling team has its first and only home appearance Thursday with duels against Wyoming's Northwest College and arch rival Montana State Northern.
The Argos knew they wouldn't get much time on the mat this season, so they've made the most of their opportunities, going 4-0 in their duels. Head coach Steve Comack has had to skip basics in practice, but the talent has gone a long way.
Practices have to simulate competition to a pretty high level. They are college athletes. They have been on a mat for a long time. And so just kind of fast forwarding a little bit, kind of jumping in the last third type structure is what we've done. And so far it seems to be working pretty well.
5 Argos are ranked nationally heading into Thursday's tilt. One of those is 133-pound senior Eli Walston, who took home Cascade Collegiate Conference Player of the Week honors after 3 wins in Nampa, Idaho.
We've been working a lot lately on my consistency with everything, just sticking to my style of wrestling and not letting the other guy control the match. And I was really consistent this weekend, did all the same stuff with each wrestler, and it just kind of came naturally. I felt great out there and wrestled really good.
Thursday's matchups will have a huge impact on qualifying for the NAIA Nationals. There's no true conference tournament this year, so records, common opponents, and rankings will be the deciding factors.
Trying to get the kids just to focus on the match itself and not the rankings, I think is a real important piece of it. Just focus on your abilities, focus on the match. But it is important. Like I said, a week and a half from now, we're going to be sitting in a virtual meeting in our conference talking about who are the guys who have that ability and level and should go.
Providence's duel with Northern starts at 8 o'clock. Reporting in Great Falls, Isaiah Dunk, MTN Sports.
For more coverage on NAIA wrestling across the state, head on over to montanasports.com. And we'll wrap things up here when we come back.
You're watching MTN News at 5.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Wrapping things up here tonight, the Great Falls Symphony is bringing back live concerts this weekend. Saturday's concert is called Heartstrings and will be the Symphony's first live performance since last October. It will be performed at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Tickets are free but limited to maintain social distancing, and masks will be required even if you've already gotten your COVID-19 vaccine.
We feel like it's something that's going to be really important for us, for our community, for our musicians to be able to play for real humans again. You know, it's a different mindset.
Now, if you can't or don't want to go to the concert but still want to see it, you can watch it online February 21st. And thank you for making us a part of your evening. NBC Nightly News is next, and you can catch us back here tonight at 6. Have a great and safe rest of your night.